Good morning everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic. In case you don't know me, I'm Mysticle, and today I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. We've got quite a few interesting things to talk about today, so without any further ado, let's jump right into it. The first piece of news isn't exactly going to be the happiest, as Meta is preparing to once again lay off more people. This is supposedly going to be their last round of layoffs, so let me tell you more. Meta conducted its third wave of major layoffs today. Reportedly, around 5,000 staff are affected in this round. Two policy managers from the Reality Labs AR/VR division confirmed on LinkedIn that they were just let go today, as did many more employees from other parts of the company. Unlike the two previous waves, however, we haven't yet seen any reports from AR/VR layoffs from technical roles. The first round of major layoffs took place back in November, cutting 11,000 employees, 13% of its workforce at the time, including some Reality Labs engineers and designers. In April, the second wave occurred as part of the Year of Efficiency Mark Zuckerberg had declared to investors in February, cutting another 4,000 or so roles. It included developers from two of Meta's acquired VR game studios, Ready at Dawn and Downpour Interactive. That brings the total number of people laid off from Meta since November to around 20,000, which is a huge number. Zuckerberg described 2022 as a humbling wake-up call for Meta, citing declining macroeconomic conditions, reducing overall advertising spend, and the increased competition from TikTok. To quote, "I think we should prepare ourselves for the possibility that this new economic reality will continue for many years," he told staff. So there you go. Whether this means that those roles are going to be replaced by artificial intelligence, I'm not entirely certain, as I know that that is a rumor that was going around for a while, that Meta is now planning on essentially laying off more people and replacing quite a few of those roles with AI as AI becomes more and more powerful. However, I just don't see that happening anytime soon. I just don't see AI being reliable enough to take over humans' jobs just yet. Either way though, I wish all the people that were laid off by Meta the best in their future endeavors, and I hope that you can find something that you enjoy doing. It is interesting though that Meta keeps saying that they are pressing on with working on the metaverse and AR and VR, and yet keeps firing people from those divisions. What is going to happen next? I'm not entirely certain, but this year is going to be very interesting for virtual and augmented reality, not just from Meta, but from other companies in general. And moving on straight from that point, good news for those of you that ordered the Pimax Crystal, as the headset is now getting shipped, as well as the fact that I just got information from my Discord staff that their Pimax portal just got shipped, which is incredibly exciting. I'm very excited to see what the portal can do. In case you guys don't know what the portal is, the Pimax portal, it's an Android gaming device and a standalone VR headset all in one. It's really, really cool, but how well it works, we don't know that yet. Jumping right back to the Pimax Crystal, it's finally shipping. However, it seems to be missing some of its key features at launch. Pimax claimed that the Crystal would ship in Q3 of 2022, between last July and last September. Pimax Crystal was originally announced at $1,900, but the company subsequently decided to sell it for $1,600 instead. I actually got to try the Crystal during VR days in Rotterdam, and it was a very impressive headset. The clarity and the local dimming in it looked really nice. There were a few issues, however I was told that this isn't the finished product, so I guess I'll just have to wait to be able to try the finished product to see whether those issues are still there. The headset is set to feature dual 2880 by 2720 LCD panels with mini LED backlighting and a quantum dot layer, while traditional small LCD panels use a single backlight behind the entire display. Mini LED instead uses thousands of tiny LED elements, delivering contrast levels close to OLED, though with the trade-off of some blooming. The quantum dot layer should deliver an extremely wide color range, which Pimax claims surpasses even OLED. The maximum refresh rate is 120 Hz normally, or 160 Hz in testing mode. A unique feature of the Crystal is that it comes with two sets of swappable lenses, so that you can choose between higher angular resolution and wider field of view. Pimax claims the wider field of view lenses have an FOV of 120 degrees horizontal, but beta testers have reported it to be around 105 degrees in practice. The Crystal is supposed to have a standalone mode, so it can run without a PC. Pimax previously announced Ragnarok, Hyperstacks, Brink Traveler, Cube VR, and Boombox would be present in its standalone store. That standalone mode won't be available at launch though, with Pimax planning to make it available in late June at its earliest. Eye tracking also won't be available at launch, and is supposed to come in a future update. So I can see this upsetting quite a few people. Not only did the Pimax Crystal not launch when Pimax originally said it would, but now it is also launching without some of the features that people were most excited for, including standalone mode and eye tracking. However, it does seem like Pimax is working on it, and hopefully those will be here before the end of June. And at least people are now getting the device into their hands. If all it takes is a software update, it shouldn't be too difficult to activate those features when they are fully ready. I guess the last thing Pimax wants is people to have untested and not fully working features in their hands. That would ruin the experience for them. I am very excited for the Pimax Crystal, and hopefully I will get to try it out on this channel very, very soon, so stay tuned. With that being said, next piece of news. Here is a big W for Pico users, as 70% of the 20 best rated Quest 2 apps are now available on the Pico 4. We all know that on standalone headsets, the biggest issue is content. If you don't have the content, you're not going to buy the headset. And this is something people were very worried about when it came to competition. And the Pico in general. Is it going to have the same content that the Quest 2 has? And how wide will its store range be? Well, it certainly seems like that store range is consistently growing. And over me right now you can see some of the apps showing up on the Pico store that are coming from the Quest. It is very exciting to see that competition does have a place in this market. A lot of people were very worried that because Meta had such a big head start, a lot of the content library from that headset wouldn't want to move over to other stores when they become available, therefore essentially giving Meta a monopoly. However, again, it's really nice to see that it does seem like competition has a place in this market, and that game and app creators are willing to port their apps to other stores as well. Hopefully, this means really good things for competition in the future, and I am very excited to see whether their headsets get launched this year. Here's some really good news for the PSVR 2. The PSVR 2 has reportedly now outsold the PSVR in the first 6 weeks, and this is something Sony has confirmed. An investor relations presentation delivered by Sony Interactive Entertainment chief Jim Ryan includes some new information detailing PSVR 2's unit sales relative to the original PSVR 2 launch in October of 2016. According to a chart in Ryan's presentation, Sony's latest headset has sold 8% more than the original in the first 6 weeks, ostensibly spanning from its February 22nd, 2023 launch to April 5th. This is very good news. Not only does it mean that interest in VR has grown since 2016, but hopefully this also means that more PSVR 2s will be sold in general. And I am very happy that the PSVR 2 is a device that is growing in this market, as it is a device that has some of the latest technologies out there. Adaptive triggers, haptics in the headset, great displays. It's basically got most of the things people have wanted inside virtual reality. So I am very happy that this is essentially the headset that is promoting VR to many users right now. Let me know if you guys have the PSVR 2, how have you been liking it down below? Hopefully, in just about a month's time, or maybe even earlier, I will be able to try it. And more on that in a little bit. With that being said, let's move on to the next piece of news. A lot of people have been speculating that Apple is going to announce their brand new headset during this year's WWDC. And all of this has just been leaks and speculations, but nothing from Apple themselves. However, now, this is where things start getting interesting, as Apple has invited XR media outlets to their WWDC keynote for the very first time. I mean, if that isn't telling, I don't know what is. As Road2VR says, Apple has sent invitations to its upcoming WWDC keynote to select media outlets, that is, including Road2VR and Upload VR as well. Apple has historically not invited XR media to its events, let alone commented in any way on its XR R&D that has been reportedly happening behind the scenes at the company for years. Road2VR is among the XR media outlets who have received an invitation to Apple's WWDC keynote for the first time. Their friends at Upload VR confirmed the same. It's difficult not to interpret the invitations amidst the growing number of reports that Apple plans to reveal its first XR device at the keynote, which takes place on June 5th at 10 a.m. PT. This is where things start getting very interesting for me. Again, more on this at the very end, but I may not be able to unfortunately watch the keynote live, which I was very excited to do. But hopefully that isn't the case. So, I mean, it's difficult not to interpret this in the way that Apple is releasing some sort of XR device during WWDC. Again, we've got no information from them in particular, however, a lot of people are very excited for it, and we have the leaks to indicate that this will happen. And now this as well, I mean, it's very telling. We will just have to wait and see. I mean, we don't have that much time left. And for a while now, we've had information on new titles and games coming to the PSVR 2, and some pretty big ones at that. Some titles that people are going to be very excited for. However, we didn't exactly know what was coming. Well, one of those titles apparently will be Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, which will be coming to the PSVR 2 this year. The game marks the second VR entry in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, following on from the original Help Wanted release. Here's a snippet from the PlayStation blog post. Help Wanted 2 will feel familiar to players who experienced the first game, but with all new games, locations, story, and animatronics. Do your best to complete your work as fast and diligently as you can, but be careful, as one wrong move at this job can lead to unexpected consequences. Those of you that have played the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise know exactly what that means, and personally, I have actually followed the lore behind it, and I was a big fan of the lore back in the day when I was a bigger gamer than I am now. However, I am still very excited for any new titles that they drop, and I will most certainly be trying it out if I get my hands on a PSVR 2. For those of you that are Five Nights at Freddy's fans, you can be looking forward to that. And I'm sure that that same title will be coming to other headsets as well, after it perhaps stops being a PlayStation exclusive. Unless it isn't a PlayStation exclusive, and we'll see the same thing during Meta's gaming showcase. Who knows, because that's on very, very soon as well. 5 days away. And another great piece of news for PSVR 2 users, Beat Saber is now available on PSVR 2 with the Queen Music Pack. Beat Saber stealth dropped onto the PSVR 2 during the PlayStation Showcase, and it's now available with a new Queen Music Pack. Previously announced in January, today's PlayStation Showcase officially saw one of the largest titles in VR drop onto the PSVR 2, and I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't drop sooner or later. I mean, it would be such a miss. So many people love Beat Saber out there. Sony would be missing out so much if they didn't drop it on the PlayStation VR 2, and it's finally happened. I'm very happy for the PSVR 2 gamers out there that they can finally be playing Beat Saber. Either way though, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night. If you like this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess it works too, but let me know why down below. This entire video, I've been dropping hints about something large happening pretty soon, and it's also why my uploads have been so inconsistent and why sometimes I feel really tired in my videos. I mean, I've been pretty tired for other reasons as well. However, one of the main reasons is I am actually moving. I am leaving Ireland very, very soon on the 5th. So yeah, more information on that. I guess I'm going to make a whole video out of it simply because some of you might be interested about the future of this channel and things like that, and I don't want to be throwing it in towards the end here, but yeah, some pretty big scary changes are happening, and I cannot deny the fact that it is pretty scary. Either way though, thank you so much to all the lovely names going off to my right. Those guys are my Patreons, and they are helping me out so much during these times, so thank you, much love. And if you guys want to chat with the community or want to do anything like that, our Discord and our Reddit are also down below, so make sure to check those out. And as usual, if you want to be notified about content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.